And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another weekly review with The Robot, brought to you by the Movie Pope. And here he is, bolts and nuts akimbo, The Robot.
Boy, oh boy, I can feel it in my bolts. Can you? Fall is in the air and October is just around the corner. Pretty soon it's gonna be Halloween. And here at the Movie Pope we do love celebrating the holidays, from the scary to the scrumptious. To prepare for America's favorite gothic holiday, we're gearing up some pretty nifty reviews of obscure and well-known horror flicks. And our review today is just a taste of what we've got in store. Exorcist movies are a dime a dozen now. It's like every few years there's another one of these that comes along, all allegedly based on real events or people. And the Pope's Exorcist is based on a real-life exorcist who spent the bulk of his career casting out devils for the Vatican. Sounds like a neat concept, but the execution of it leaves much to be wanted. Today, we'll look at 5 things from this movie that nearly drove me into the nut house. Let's get started. Now, I understand that sometimes Hollywood likes to take certain liberties when telling a story. In this case, that is taken to the highest degree. I mean, seriously, are we supposed to believe that is actually an accurate or close approximation to Father Gabriele Amorth? Sure, Hollywood likes its protagonists to be dashing and sexy, but Russell Crowe is far from looking dashing at this point. He's no longer the guy from Gladiator, that's for sure. The only thing they seem to get right is that both men are generously proportioned, if you catch my drift. Real-life heroes aren't pretty boys, just salt-of-the-earth people who just got on with their work. Casting hotties in the roles actually doesn't make them more likable, but I suppose it's just a way to make sure the hotties have a steady stream of work and filmgoers have some eye candy to enjoy for 90 or so minutes. Not that Russell Crowe is eye candy, anyway, but he sure looks like he ate a lot of candy. Another thing, too, that rattles my circuits. Why, in the name of all that is holy, is he doing an accent? We have proof that he cannot do an accent. Even if he could, it isn't consistent. Also, not to be pedantic, but the guy playing the Pope looks nothing like Pope John Paul II. The guy was in office from 1978 to 2005, and last time I checked, he wasn't bearded. If you're basing a movie on real people or just a handful, maybe get the top brass of the Catholic Church as accurate as possible. Just saying, you know, can't be that hard. The action revolves around Amorth helping a young boy named Henry who gets possessed after finding something in the wall. Henry's family comes to Spain from America because his late father left them an old abbey. This family cannot catch a break. They got no money, no prospects. The workers walk out on them. Henry gets possessed. The doctors wash their hands clean of the matter. And then Amorth is the only guy in the world who can save them. All because the demon specifically asked for him. Like a classic throwdown. Knockout fight at the end of every action movie. It's kinda cliche, really, to have these supernatural encounters take place in crumbling old abbeys. Plus, the Pope saying the Abbey's been a problem in the past is kind of hacky. Like, oh, this is the nexus of evil. You must close it before the world is destroyed. And Amorth, the bad boy exorcist, is the only one who can save the day. I'd make a joke about the 1980s calling and wanting its tropes back, but it's already set in 1987, so, yeah, that joke is kinda moot. When the Pope gives Amorth his next mission to Spain, we see our chubby friend scooter along. Now, getting to Spain from Italy, regardless of proximity, is gonna take time. And the film implies he did all this on a scooter. Seriously, you expect us to believe he drove all the way to Spain on that? If he was taking a bus or train, or even a Fiat, I could believe it. But this is as comical as Harry and Lloyd riding all the way to Denver on a scooter in Dumb and Dumber. And at least there they were doing it for comical effect. You know, for a movie that's supposed to be marketed as horror, it's actually quite comical when it's trying to be serious. And when they try to be funny, it's annoying. Father Amorth is quick with the quips, adding levity to relieve the tension. But he does it so often that at one point Father Esquibel tells him to can it. My thing is, if you're going to do a proper horror film, then please, play it straight. Trying to have the hero be all jokey and stuff detracts from what you're trying to do. Granted, what you're doing in the movie relies on every trope in the filmmaking handbook, but it'd be more palatable than having the priest try and fail at being a comedian. If you want your priest to be funny, don't stick him in a supposedly horror flick. Amorth and Esquibel discover a subterranean secret chamber that was sealed off centuries ago. It's kind of weird to know that beneath the floor is a crypt filled with skulls and desiccated corpses. Also, it seems the entire place is flammable. The demon's main goal is to F with Amorth, but why then go through the trouble of exploring this secret chamber when you've got a demon loose? It's an unnecessary addition that goes nowhere and helps no one. Just stick to the priest trying to save the child and forget this entire Spanish Inquisition, Chamber of Secrets, charnel house where the last exorcist got himself possessed and then booted the fan. It'll just confuse us, and we're already having a hard time understanding what Russell Crowe is trying to say in his pseudo-Italian accent. I will concede that it is great to see an Exorcist story based on an actual person, someone who lived and did the work that this film portrays. But, as usual, they exaggerate the absolute hell out of it. Most of the movie was a snooze fest, but that was a pretty funny scene at the beginning to see the priest trick the demon into possessing the pig and then the farmer shoots it. If demons are so smart, how are they that dumb to get tricked into possessing swine? Score 1 for Mankind. Horror films are a hit or miss. There aren't any gray areas where you can find an equal smattering of the good as well as the bad. And it's a shame, too, because the people who produce and make these movies are putting their time and talent to give us something they want us to see. However, what people take away from these movies is beyond their control. With The Pope's Exorcist, we're getting your average run-of-the-mill priest versus devil story where the hero is struggling with their past and trying to come to terms with it before they can vanquish an ancient evil. And, even though it's based on the real Father Amorth, they take a lot of liberties and embellish the story to the point where it becomes downright campy. Regardless of whether you believe in an actual devil or not, the way it's presented in this film is supposed to make you feel the collywobbles. But instead, the hero of the movie and its ancillary characters just end up making it into a huge mess that misses the mark. 1973's The Exorcist has become the standard on how to properly portray such a story, basing it on real events but modifying it to suit the director's vision. It doesn't work here because they're using a real individual to tell a story that isn't real, like having Abe Lincoln killing vampires. Because they went that route, I feel that set them up to fail from the get-go. Inversely, the Conjuring movies work to a degree since most of the movies follow real events that happened to the Warrens. Unfortunately for this movie, they decided not to follow that lead. Thanks for watching, and if you don't mind, please leave us a like, it helps a lot. And while you're at it, subscribe so you never miss an episode drop. This is the Robot signing off.